Hello, I am your host, giving you your daily dose. Amateur overlord. Brittany, you were right. Sometimes doing a daily vlog is tricky. As this is actually the third take of this, and not because I wasn't ready, but the door rang twice, and then there was just other activities happening in the background that I had to attend to. So yeah. Anyway, I'm glad to be here. I'd like to again give a shout out to two dear friends of mine who helped me out of a pickle last night due to my own negligence. But they came through and they made sure your boy's here. He's safe and sound. He's here to talk to you today. Basically, today's topic is going to be loneliness. It's a very interesting topic in that the um, the United Kingdom has set up a commission, which is like a special research group to tackle loneliness throughout the country. And what they found when they looked into each demographic, they had expected basically that the elderly people would have a large portion of, you know, those suffering from loneliness. But what they hadn't anticipated was that millennials and people from, let's say, my age range of about early 30s to mid 30s were tackling loneliness. Um, yeah, we're probably the greatest sufferers of loneliness. Is probably the better way to say that. And that was really interesting as a find. Now, you look at today's society and the invention of the internet uh, and the ability to interconnect with people more easily than ever before, and yet people are still very lonely. They live in metropolises like London and New York City and other large cities, and yet they feel very alone, very isolated. So I'm here trying to get comfortable. Um, so, what are some things you can do if you are to tackle loneliness? If you are an extrovert like myself, making friends is not necessarily very difficult. Um, Being an extrovert, to make a friend, you have to put yourself out there. Um, and again, being an extrovert, that's easier to do. You can strike up conversations with random strangers. Go to parks, see if you can jump into a game of basketball if you're a person who enjoys physical activities. Go join a gym, um, coffee shops, just, meet people at the bus stop, public transport, um, or just be open to meeting people. That's basically, and for an introvert, interestingly, a lot of the same things apply. If you're an introvert or you're shy, um, and you enjoy a certain activity, no matter what it is, hopefully it's a positive activity. There is somebody somewhere in the world that does what you do. Even if it's underwater basket weaving, there's somebody somewhere with their scuba gear on wondering if someone else does what they're about to do, and it could be you. So if you go and you put yourself out there, you're definitely going to find somebody that you can identify with, and it is a wonderful thing to feel a part of a social group, um, to feel esteemed by other members of your society. It's nice, it's necessary, it's healthy, and I would highly encourage it. Um, the reasons that some people feel loneliness in today's society, that I found through research, is that in Western society, romanticism has made people believe that they need to derive all of their intimacy from their partner. Now, you could, I suppose, do that, but what it usually does is it puts a great strain on a relationship, whereby one person is trying to derive all the things they need socially from one individual. Now, in Eastern societies, intimacy and that deep sense of social belonging um, is derived from your social groups and your friends. So people in Eastern society suffer with loneliness less or to a lesser degree than those in Western society, based on their views of intimacy. If you've ever traveled to the East, you'll find that there's a lot more group activities going on. Um, Even how they enjoy a meal, um, they enjoy entertainment. Everything's very group based. It's very socially interconnected, and because of that, that intimacy that you can then derive from a social group, you don't necessarily seek it from your partner. Whereby you might still seek the romantic side, obviously, from your partner. That's where you would still derive that. So that's something to consider. Uh, Another thing is, oftentimes when we're in a relationship, we can get into the habit of making that person our entire world. And that is dangerous and can be to our detriment for a number of reasons. But one main reason is that you have to understand that human beings don't belong to each other in that sense. I mean, you can feel a sense of ownership of your partner in a caring caretaker kind of way, not in a possessive I own you kind of way, but in a caretaker kind of way, and that's healthy. But to make someone your universe is dangerous because for whatever reason they can be called away for long periods of time. Let's say they're in the military, or they have to work on an oil rig somewhere, or they're an astronaut, uh, or for reasons beyond their control, they've become terminally ill and they pass away in death. And if you've made that person your universe, then your universe goes with them when they go. And that's not something anyone who loves you would want to have you deal with. Nor is it a healthy way to look at your relationship with that person. You have to look at the people in your life, if you can, and I would admonish you to do so, as peripheries, as like you're all separate entities that are enjoying the same universe together. Um, you don't make someone the sun in your universe. You just make them a nearby planet or a nice moon. That's how you can look at it if you want to run with the planet analogy. Um, and that way they orbit you. And if they somehow or for some reason need to leave orbit, the universe doesn't necessarily go with it. Now, I'm going to stay with this whole planetary analogy because I like it. Yeah, the things that orientate planets to each other, gravity. Now, being lonely is tricky because once you're in a lonely state of mind or you're feeling lonely, negativity can creep in more easily. And negativity is like gravity. It'll take that path of least resistance. It will bring you down. Once you're down, it'll just keep going down, 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 down. So the first thing you need to do is work on your mindset. Now, that